Hi, this is training module 11, follow-up and school work release notes. We just left off with Mickey Mouse and a discharge instruction for serous otitis media. And now we're going to move on to, let's say we wanted to refer Mickey Mouse to a particular physician uh, and print out that physician's contact information, which some of which is built into AdvancedMD based on what the managers provided us with. So I actually signed off on this document. So here's a good lesson. I signed off on this document already. So I can't alter it. It's done. All right. So I can't really add a follow-up note to this note. Okay. So I'm going to quickly show you again how to create this. Add new linked patient note. Discharge instruction. I'm just going to recreate what we've already done here. Show you how quick and easy it is, really. And I'm going to drop in otitis media. Okay, so I'm right back where I was in a matter of about 5 seconds, and that's literally how quick you can create discharge instructions for somebody. Now, instead of signing it this time, I'm going to say, well, this person really needs follow-up with an ENT, as an example. So I'm going to move right over to the next tab here next to discharge instructions, which is my follow-up tab. And I'm really going to follow sort of the same pattern that I did before. I'm going to right-click and drop in, and these are actually called subnotes. So I'm going to drop in a subnote. Now, my subnote for follow-up doctors is all the way up here at the top. If you can see, everything here is labeled as DC for discharge. I had to put a little underscore in front of this DC here so that it shows up at the top. That's why that little underscore is there. It doesn't really mean anything. This just always shows up alphabetically, no matter how I enter it. It's alphabetic. So I put the follow-up doctors all the way at the top. Okay. So for this particular patient, let's say I want them to follow up with an ENT. Now, this office key has all of these different follow-up doctors listed. Okay, every office key already provided me with their follow-up list. So you may or may not have some of these, and you may have some that this key doesn't have. So I'm going to say, let's follow up with an ears, nose, and throat specialist. I'm going to click that. And again, just like before, all it does here is drop in the fact that this is the ears, nose, and throat physician list. Okay, doesn't actually show us what that list is yet. So this time I'm actually not going to sign off on this document. I'm just going to save it. You can't print these discharge instructions unless you at least save them. Okay, saving and signing are really two separate steps. If you just go right to sign, it saves it and signs it. Okay, so it actually saves you a step by just hitting sign. But if I save it, you can see it popped up over here again. This time it's yellow, which means I didn't sign it. But it opened up this word merge option for me, which wasn't there a second ago. Okay, because it's saved. So I'm going to print and merge this document now just to show you what it looks like. I'm going to hit the discharge instructions. And it should look identical to before with the exception of the follow-up list. Okay. Again, it opened up in a different window here. I'm going to pull it over. So it looks just like before, but right here at the top now is our recommended follow-up physicians. Okay. Every site provides this. This little statement's put in here that we provide this as a courtesy, and we really have no affiliation with any of the providers above. Okay, and those providers don't really have any obligation to see our patients either. But this is just a courtesy to give them some options on who to call. Okay, so really nothing different about this. This is the serous otitis media discharge instruction with the addition of some recommended follow-up physician. That's it. You would print this the same way you did before. You would sign off on it. Now, if you don't sign off on it because you forget to, this will actually show up in your review bin as a discharge instruction that's unsigned. Okay? We'll just move right along here because the school work note is right next to it. So let's say this person needs a school note. We'll go to school note. Now this screen is entirely blank at this point. But we're going to use the same technique. Right click, and then right here, right below DC follow-up is DC school of work. And I'm going to drop in either a school release form or a work release form. So let's say they need a school release form. Okay? You can fill out what you see. You can say that you're going to return to school on whatever date you want. You can put them on any restrictions you want, no sports until, and you place a date in here, or no sports until cleared by a physician, and any special instructions like use crutches at school. Okay, same technique now. In order to print this, I can't go right up to my word merge, because if I word merge it now, this stuff isn't saved yet. Okay, so I have to at least save it. Then I can go word merge, again, just the discharge instructions here. And this time I will have another page on there. Okay, so I have my recommended follow-up physicians, my serous otitis media, and then it skips a page so that you can provide the patient with a nice fresh page that's all spelled out nicely. Even though you didn't really write too much over here, it spells it out for them. The date they were seen, when they can return to school, and any restrictions, and your special instructions. Okay, and the fact that this document was electronically signed by the physician. Okay, and you'd use the same technique to print it. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Now the work release is really the same thing. It's going to be hard for me to place a work release in here at the same time, but I'll see what happens here. We'll drop it over here instead. See, the work release literally shows up where you drop it. So if I drop it, if I'm just don't really care about how things look and feel like dropping it anywhere, this is where it'll be placed for everyone to see. All right, so here's the work release form. It's the same thing. A return to work date. There are some restrictions like no prolonged standing, desk work, light duty, no heavy lifting, when they can return to normal duty, and any special instructions. And when you print this, again, it's all sort of printed out in a nice text format, not just these bullet points. Okay? And that really does it. We have our discharge instructions, we have our follow-up, we have our school and work release. You word merge them and print them, and if you just print the discharge instructions, you get all of them. Okay? Thank you.